Hello, this is Pam Neely. In this video, we're going to finish out our whole lead magnet battery of videos, and we're going to set up an A/B split test. So as I mentioned, you've got your lead magnet created, you've got your opt-in sequence set up, and now we're going to do the absolute last step, and that's to set up an A/B split test. Frankly, you could skip this entirely, but it's something that can double, triple, or even quadruple your opt-in rate, and so I highly recommend you do it. Unfortunately, quite a few of you will have to wait to do this because it does require a fair amount of traffic. Really, to get great results or even good results at a fairly regular pace, you need about 200 visitors to your site every day. You can get away with 100. Let me show you how that might work. So this is the Visual Website Optimizer A/B Split Test and Multivariate Test Duration Calculator. It is a very fancy name for a fairly simple tool. This will show you how long your tests will probably have to run to get statistically valid results. It is also quite easy to use Hybrid Connect, which we're going to talk about in a minute, and that will do all the calculations for you. So don't be afraid of the math. I'm just kind of showing this to you so you understand the fundamentals so you don't have to think about it again. This calculator, to fill it out, if we wanted the estimated existing conversion rate, that would basically be your opt-in rate. And so we'll put in 5, which, is a healthy opt-in rate. The minimum improvement in conversion rate you want to detect. Let's put in 20% for right now. So we want to see at least a 20% lift to be able to call a winner. This is the number of variations or combinations. Because we're probably going to be restricted with traffic, you want to put in as few as possible, and so we're going to put in 2, and that would be our control, the version that we've been running for a while, and then the variation, which is the new version. So if we have been running an opt-in form forever that just happened to have this button, calculate test duration, that would be our control. And if we set up a test that said just calculate in that new version, that the button just said calculate, that would be version B. And so that would be 2 test segments. Pretty simple. And here we have the real bugaboo, the average number of daily visitors. So I'm going to put in 200 just to get us started. And then what percent of visitors are included in the test? This is for fairly large companies, and they will not put all their traffic into a test typically, because it's quite possible for your new variation to not perform as well as your control. If your variation does not perform as well as your control and you're sending half your traffic to it, that means you're going to lose a chunk of revenue, and that's generally not okay for most businesses. So if you were a large company, you'd be doing that. For us, we were going to put in 100% because we really want to be running this test for as short a period as possible because we've got so little traffic. Let me click this calculate test duration, and yeah, it comes out to 76 days, which is not too bad. Notice what can happen if you can get a kind of lift. If you got more of a lift, so say your first opt-in was converting at, just for this example, 1%, and you needed your new opt-in to convert at least 1.3% to call it a winner. If you had 200 visitors a day, that test would probably take about 34 days. Again, this is an estimate. Every once in a while, you'll run a test where you get double the opt-in rate. That's not uncommon, and so that would make the test much shorter. Let's look at that just if we wanted to see, I want to at least double my opt-in rate. Yeah, you'd have to run it 3 days. Pretend we could deal with a 30% increase and we had only 50 visitors per day. That's a very long test, but you could run it for that long. You're going to get some kind of muddiness in the test results, but it's not that big a deal, and you certainly could do it. And that's just with 50 visitors a day. And so say maybe you've got 80 visitors a day. Yeah, you're coming in around 3 months. 3 months is a very long test, but it's not going to break anything, and I would encourage you to test if you've got 80, 100 people a day. So enough about that. One thing I do want to encourage you is that if you don't have enough traffic, don't worry. You're going to be getting enough traffic. We're going to be doing a lot of search engine optimization work, a lot of traffic building, both via guest blog posting and other techniques. You're going to see a tremendous increase in your traffic over time because really we do need the traffic to get the list building. So basically it's, traffic plus opt-in form equals new subscribers. And so we are going to need some more traffic than most of you have. For those of you who can start testing right now, let's first talk to the group of you who are Aweber users. You're going to have a very easy time doing testing, though I'm also going to talk about another tool called Hybrid Connect, which all of you can use because you get it free as part of your membership. But let's just go over to Aweber and see what I can show you here. So this is my Aweber account, and this is one of my lists. I'm going to show you how to create a test. It's super simple. They do also have a knowledge base article, of course, but I'm going to walk you through it because it really is very simple. First thing you got to have is 2 different opt-in forms. And so again, I'm doing my little button test of testing the button copy. And all you got to do is go over here and click sign up form, test your sign up forms. They want to know what the split test name is, and so we'll call it button test. Buttons, by the way, are one of the best things to test, and button copy, the words on the button, is one of the easiest things to test. This is the split of traffic between the 2 buttons. What we want is 50%. And now I'm going to just click Save Split Test, and it is saved. And I am now running 2 variations. So that's pretty simple. If you were going to add this to your website, you would need to get the HTML right here. And so you'd need to add different code once you've set up the test, which is still pretty simple. But let's do this. Yeah, you'd have to paste that in, or you'd have to incorporate it with the opt-in form plugin that you were using. You can see me do this live in the Aweber videos. For right now, we're kind of really focused on just getting through this lead magnet setup, and so I'm going to leave that alone. The next thing to talk about, though, is Hybrid Connect. All of you people who aren't Aweber, you can kind of bring your focus back now. This is the inside of my website. I use the Hybrid Connect. It's really considered pretty much one of the very best, if not the best, opt-in form, pop-up. There's even landing pages. It's a really great tool. You get it for free. I highly encourage you to use it. And so this is the main page. This is what I'm running. And I'm going to set up a split test for my Lightbox. I've already set one up for my widgets. The way to trigger the prompt that asks you to add a variation is to click on Stats. And then you want to go down here and where it says Edit Variation. That's actually the default, which we don't want to do. We're going to click Add Variation. One little thing that you should know before you get frustrated, once you start a test, you can't edit either version of the opt-in form. Generally not too big a deal, but just so you know. So we're going to click Add Variation, and we're going to call this new variation Button Copy Test. Click Add Variation. There we go. Now let's edit this. Super simple. So here we are. It's dropped us down a little. We want to enter text. We want to go down to button text. Let's move this all the way over for you. So where it now says sign me up, I want to say get my copy. And I'm not using either of these forms, so I'm going to just ignore them. And we'll click Save Changes. And there we go. We have our new button test. And now I'm going to click Start Test. And they're going to tell me you're not going to be able to edit these. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Yes, start the test. Excellent. And so my test is running. And this will show me the improvement. It will also show me the chance to beat original. And you want this number to be as close to 100 as possible. Hybrid Connect will actually automate all of this for you. So if they see less than a 5% chance to beat the original, they will automatically stop showing this version. If they see that this version is over 95% chance to beat the original, they will automatically show this. And so it's really great. It's nice because that way, if you set up a test and say you're going to have it running for like 2 months and you forget about it until 6 months, that way you won't be sending hundreds, if not thousands of people to an opt-in form that you knew 3 months ago wasn't doing that well. And so it's a really nice feature. And so that really is the basics on how to create an A/B split test. As you saw, it's pretty simple. There's a lot of anxiety about how to do A/B split testing. It's really very easy, and it's a proven 100,000 times over way to triple, quadruple, 10x your opt-in rate. And so I can't encourage you to do it enough. Of course, some of you are going to need to build up your traffic, and that's cool, and we will definitely be addressing that in a major way across dozens of videos. So I hope that was helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.